Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to A Different Opinion. I hope everyone's been well. I have now finished 100 pages into the memoir of Prince Harry, right? So it's not easy to read it. I mean, it's so boring in so many parts. It's all about his childhood. It's all about him feeling sorry for himself. It's all about him being, the spare. And, he has to highlight it all the time just to kind of point the fact that this is why the book's named, right? Because I'm just a spare. William's the heir. For me, even naming your own memoir as Spare already shows that you don't have any self-belief. Seriously, like if you call your book Spare because you feel like you're the second fiddle, it's pretty sad. I mean, you're a grown adult now, Harry. It's kind of time to get past this, right? Now, before we get into it as well, I do still have that competition running, the 2 postcards. After this video, everyone who comments on this video, the last few as well, I'll be drawing it out tomorrow. I'll draw out a winner. I'll contact you in the comment section, and I'll also announce the winner on my next video as well. And I'll grab your details. I'll get you to email me your address so I can actually post out the postcards to you. And if you haven't seen them, it's a postcard where it's an interview with Oprah, the tell all, right? And it shows Meghan and Harry, and it's quite funny. It makes fun of them. I actually found that in Amsterdam as well, so in the Netherlands, and yeah. Most people in the Netherlands don't like them either. Now, as you can see in the background as well, woman who took Prince Harry's virginity reveals why she came forward to tell all in interview. The reason why it's in the background is because when he talks about it, it's actually in the pages that I just read as well. So I'll run through the review. It's from page 39 to page 100. And trust me, I hope you guys don't have to read through this yourself because it is a lot of boring detail of his childhood. And I think by reading it so far, he very much is stuck in that childhood, right? Like he keeps calling his mother, Prince Diana, bless her soul, mummy the whole time. And he calls William Willie. It's just kind of weird. And I think maybe the trauma when he was a kid or something, he's stuck still there mentally. And I think that's why he's kind of lashing out like he is now, right? Now, before we jump into it as well, last thing, if you do want to help support the channel, please subscribe below the video if I've earned it. Like the videos that you like, and please comment. Like I said, to enter the competition for the postcard, just comment in the comments below. If you have a normal comment, what you want to say, and postcard on the end. If you have commented on the previous videos, that's fine. Each comment per video is an entrance as well. So I'll take that into consideration. Now let's get into this one here. So he talks about when he was a kid, right? And he found the sport rugby. And I mean, in America, not many people would know about rugby. So it's a contact sport. It's not similar to American football, but there is tackling and running with the ball involved. He talks about, playing the sport, but then it comes back to the self-pity again, where he says that while he was playing it, he actually enjoyed pain. And he says that no one had the answer for the boy who enjoyed the external pain to match his internal pain. So, yeah, self-pity moment again with Harry. So far in this 100-page book, a lot of it has been self-pity, where he feels sorry for himself all the time and makes like he had it so hard, right? And let's just remember, he comes from a very, very privileged family, and he lives a very privileged life, but he never speaks about that. Now, yet again, it goes back to self-pity. It goes to how the media always picked on him. It was only him that they picked on, They didn't write stories about anyone else. It's only him that they always wrote stories about. Yet again, the self-pity. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of people have seen the things, 5 times Prince Harry slammed William, or Prince Harry slams William in his book, whatever. This is where it starts, really. So he says whenever they got into, kind of little fights, little, scraps type of thing with other kids from other families or whatever, where, the play fighting got a little bit serious, he says that he was always the one protecting William. He says, I'm half the size, half his weight, and the younger brother, that he was actually supposed to save me, not the other way around. It's kind of sad to his brother, because I guess if I was younger like I am to my brother, I wouldn't be saying, I was the tough guy in the fights protecting my older brother. No, because, it's not very nice to your brother to make him feel, smaller. Now, he says actually something funny in his book for once. I think it's the first time I was actually like, oh, that's pretty funny. Is at the Queen's Jubilee, Paul McCartney sang a song for her, and, someone sang the national anthem, God Save the Queen at the time. And Harry says he was sitting right behind her in the second row, and he said that she was tapping her foot and kind of, dancing like this to the music and everything. And I was like, oh, cool. But then he says he's seen something in her ear, and he was like, oh, is that a golden earring or something? And he said that he kind of looked closer, and the closer he looked was actually yellow earplugs. And that made me kind of laugh. I was like, how funny that is that she's tapping along, but she's got the earplugs in. Goes back again to, you know, seeking attention, because he says, you know, after leaving school, he wanted to do something that, you know, no other royals do or whatever. So he's like, I want to drop out of school and I want to disappear like my mother did. But obviously, as he says it, my mummy did. And he says, you know, so people talk about it and say, oh, wow, look what happened. Because it's always like he seems to need, you know, other people's attention, and he needs to be the center of attention. Like he needs to grab attention away. And now, one thing he says, after school, he went on a gap year, right? So if you don't know what a gap year is, a lot of time after school, people would travel for a year before going to university or going to their full-time jobs or whatever. So he went on a gap year to Africa and all that. And, you know, he's traveling quite a bit and he meets a lot of people, and he's just kind of like, you know, come with us. We'll go here, we'll go there, blah, blah, blah. Now, one thing he never mentions in all this travel, because obviously he's never worked for money anyway, he never talks about how everything was paid for, right? Taxpayers paid for that. And if not, then the family paid for it, but who pays the family? Yet again, the taxpayers. So he never ever mentions anything about, oh, it was difficult to go here because I didn't have money, or, you know, I had to pay for this. And this is where I come back to the privileged life, right? He never mentions how good he's got it. He just mentions how hard he has it, which is pretty annoying because he never once had to worry about finances. Not like a normal 18-year-old kid who says, I want to travel. I needed to work. I needed to save money, blah, 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 blah. Not with him. Not once. Credit card. Mummy, daddy. And the sad thing is, the people that paid for all these things for him, he's the one on the Netflix show, The Liathon, as we all know now, where they keep portraying the British people as bad people and as racists, and they don't like people from overseas. It's sad to see that the people that pay for your way, for your livelihood, you turn on them, like he turned on his family. Now, the interesting thing, I didn't actually know this was on page 99. He says that the original day Camilla and Charles were supposed to get married, that the Pope actually died on that day. So they actually had to push it later. And, you know, they didn't want to hold the marriage on the same day that the Pope died. So kind of interesting there. I never knew that. But that's it there. So all the way to page 100. A very short one because it's so boring. There's not much to talk about. And like the point is, I can't read any more than probably 50, 60 pages at a time because it just kind of does my head in. It's pretty annoying, this book. It's nearly as bad as a Netflix show, if not worse, really. It's just a lot of blabber, and you can tell that a lot of the words in there, he never spoke. The ghostwriter filled all that in for him. So, pretty sad, but hopefully on the next video, there'll be other things as well. And the reason why I'm doing this is just to show a little bit more of an in-depth look. Because everything I've seen so far is a lot of, you know, just little points here and there that they choose out of the book. So I just want to go chapter by chapter and kind of run it through the parts which are actually something different than just him talking about his little childhood and how good he had it, right? Like I said, in the comments, postcard, if you do want to enter in the competition, and I'll choose one out after this video in a couple of days when I make the next one. And now quickly read through this here. So the woman who took Prince Harry's virginity reveals why she came forward. Now, he did say it anonymously, right? He didn't say a name in the memoir. Like, so if I was her, I probably wouldn't come forward, right? Because, I mean, you got kids now and all that type of stuff. You don't want to just be known as a lady who had sex with Prince Harry in the bush and took his virginity. Like, it's pretty weird for me. But there we go. Here's a lady, in case if you haven't seen, who Prince Harry lost his virginity to. He was quite a bit older, and it happened in the field, apparently. So, hopefully you guys enjoy your night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you do want to help support the channel, and like the video if you liked it. Thank you.